You can see there 3.5 to 9 volts. Just decided to go back out of focus again. I'm having a few troubles getting this phone to play ball. But anyway, there you go. 3.5 to 9 volts. This is this crap little water pump. I decided to, had a female USB connection, and looks a little bit melted in one part of the plug there. So I tested it by getting it all hooked into a normal USB connection, and it all works absolutely fine. Nothing wrong with the plug, so I decided that I was gonna, considering that's 3.5 to 9 volts, I took the little cover off. It's still sitting in the sink, but it's a little cover that sits over the front, and that come off without a problem. And I got a little rivet, it's one of these little fellas here, and started trying to turn this over, and it sort of bump, 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 felt how it should. And I thought, well, I'm getting it to turn over, so we'll see if we can power it up. And 9 volts not a problem. And I got this old skanky thing sitting around for years. It's might be about to go a little bit acidic, but it works fine. And I checked the volts, and it was fine. And I thought, well, I'll do the tongue test, and yes, we have some amps, no question about that. And I hooked it on, and this thing would not fucking work. And yeah, so I think I even tried a continuity test through the thing. I think I did. I'm pretty certain I did, because I've tried just about everything with the old multimeter here from 1998. I tried a continuity test to see if it was shorting out, and I really couldn't seem to get anything before. I tried with the battery. I'm fairly certain I tried to continue to test it before I put the battery on, but she just did not want to work. And she hit the floor at about 100 miles an hour shortly thereafter, and we discover that our impeller here is actually just hooked to a battery. And this cover that I was worried about pushing on too hard pops off to solid epoxy. Yeah. So getting worried about jamming the spindle didn't mean a bloody thing, because all it was doing was covering solid epoxy. That's where the power cable has come out there, or the USB cable has come out. And then I decided to, I have some fantastic chisels here that my sister bought me many years ago, and they will go through just about anything. And I mean it. And after it hit the ground, I'd done another continuity test on the remaining wires you can see there. No, couldn't get anything. So I put the chisel through, and well, lo and behold, there's a little piece of wire here that this impeller is supposed to go on that has been bent slightly and the chisel hit, but and you know, believe it or not, this is all actually, that's all oil and everything. I mean, there's oil on it, you can see it. Not with this crappy camera, but you can see it. Oh yeah, that's the little piece that goes over the top there for your intake, and that slot there is where your outtake goes up into this business. It all goes inside there, as you could well imagine. But all they've really got is just the magnet just sits in there spinning on that piece of wire next to these coils here. And if you actually look at these damn coils, this is your wire like you got on your back of your old style TV screens, you know, like those coils, I forget what they call them, but yeah, it's that sort of stuff with like that really, really thin red coating. And I mean, you know, you've lost a bit of the coating here as the chisels hit it there, but there's ones down here, they've got no blasted coating on whatsoever. Some of them are sitting inside where the epoxy's cracked out. It's not even scraped off by the chisel, and it's got no coating. It's like, my gosh, you know, so skimping on the coating and everything, you know. But that, I wouldn't be surprised if there's like your eddy plates or whatever they call them, because I think I can see one there sticking out. And that's just it. You've got a magnet that just spins on a blooming thing. Still got a bit of wire that fell off there, stuck in the end, you can see. But yeah, that's all it is. So what a lot of bullshit. I've tried all the tricks in the book and I cannot get that USB battery to do anything. Apparently, when you short them out, you're allowed to, well, the standard way, once you have something fail or short out, you actually just put it on the charger. I've had a phone or two that's had a few issues. I had a phone that just did not want to turn on one day. I put it on the charger for 20 seconds, bang, turns on. I've tried putting that USB battery on the charger multiple times and pissing and stuffing around, and there's no reset button or anything. And I think I've just fried the electronics because it doesn't have any short out protection in it. It's one of the ones where you've got a battery, like a on-off button on the side, not a slide switch, but one you just, like a soft touch type of, like one of those sort of buttons where you can just boom, boom, boom. But you're supposed to be able to turn it on and will not come on, will not take it in, nothing will light up. I've tried plugging in other USB things, including my little USB fan. Nothing. Absolutely dead. I think I've literally blown the circuit on it. So I've thrown that in the cupboard, and that's a bloody crying shame, really. All because of this Chinese piece of shit. Anyway, this is what you get with a lot of this crap, and 4 weeks by air freight, and it should have been here in less than a week coming from China with the amount of blooming, stuff that comes through. Sent by air, 4 weeks for a 5 to 7 day trip, and, now to just pull all this bullshit on me. That really has fucked up my day, blowing up the best USB battery. The one I've got, the other silver one, it sometimes won't go past about 94% charge. That one's like the 8,000 milliamp hour or whatever it is. And, here I am with a 15,000 and I've bloody wrecked it. It's like shit. So forever on now, I'm going to just use 3 AA batteries and the little wires here on this one to test any USB stuff that comes in with 4.5 volt, just to see if we're going to get any freaking response at all, because 4.5 ain't too far short of 5, and I think that's going to be near enough versus blowing up a 15,000 milliamp hour battery.